The table is set with all the trimmings as Amari Cooper looks to feast on his former team. It's the Raiders and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day, and we're serving up the action. Next.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out. Open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Here's Carter now on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes this Dallas offense, led by Dak Prescott in his 6th season now as the Cowboy quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
On play action, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. What's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Prescott. Left side to Lamb. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A first down carry by Elliott. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott doing it himself from 9 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Raiders getting ready to go to work for the first time, and they're led by their quarterback in his 8th season now in silver and black, Derek Carr.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Open man, that's Renfro. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play there for the Raiders.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
He gets it complete to Jackson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air? And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Josh Jacobs, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Here's Carter now on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Second drive here for the Dallas Cowboys. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get...
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Raiders pick it up. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is Tony Pollard. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about, the Lions jumping out the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening. But how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From the 41, Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On first down, it's Elliott, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz.
And the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all. 3rd and goal.
Elliott.
And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Zerline's kick is up and through.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, He's still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think...
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Terrell Basham. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Flush to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Carr now to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Max Crosby in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Prescott.
And he'll go underneath here to Elliott.
And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22.
The veteran in his first year with the Cowboys, Brian Anger, on to punt. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up.
We'll check on his status when we get back.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
On play action, now Carr.
That's into the hands of Edwards. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfrow.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now Carr again. Touchdown Raiders. That's caught. Darren Waller. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Now Pollard. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Now Pollard. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
Prescott's throw taken in by Cooper here.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. Play action, now it's Carr.
Catch made, it's Moreau.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Here's Carr to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Extra up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone.
And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving again to everybody at home as we take a look ahead to what's coming up both later today and this weekend. In the early games, a lot of good matchups, one being in Indianapolis. A tough one for the Colts as they'll face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the LA Chargers. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one in the NFC. Seattle traveling cross-country to take on Washington at FedEx Field. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did, and that should set them up well for the second half to come. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And now Derek Carr, he is the focus of our player spotlight. And we have seen him to this point with 4 touchdowns. We get a glance at his work. It's been good work.
Oh, it's been excellent work, and it's made so much better by our guys. Look at that montage of great plays that they put together. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you speak it pretty well, but these guys, the pictures they put up, oh.
Very good, and he's got his team in the lead right now. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for him, so what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now Carr throwing on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well, so where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more where I came from.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Prescott. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, You've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Carlson is good.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Now Pollard. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Here's Renfro to return.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.
Let's go. Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
Jacobs with a carry on first down as he'll get about 3 there before he's taken down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27, no first down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time, Prescott on 4th. Open man, Lamb, it's complete. And shedding the tackle and now some room. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. C.D. Lamb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
68 yards rushing forward to the ball game now on 14 carries. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The Raiders on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
2nd and 5.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Now Pollard. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, Connor Williams. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Prescott now from the 50. He finds his target. It's Schultz. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Open man, that's Renfro. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On play action, it's Carr. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Carr going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And that one falls incomplete. And they're left now with just 2 seconds here in the first half. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year.
And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. Turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.
Thank you.